25.8 million Americans have been diagnosed with diabetes, which is approximately 8.3% of the total population.
1.9 million Americans are diagnosed every year with diabetes. Diabetes causes 71,000 deaths in America every year. 68% of all deaths related to diabetes are attributed to heart disease. Adults with diabetes have heart disease death rates 2 to 4 times higher than someone without diabetes, and 2 to 4 times more likely to have a stroke.
Diabetes is the leading cause of kidney failure, accounting for 44% of all new causes of kidney failure. Every year, about 50,000 people with diabetes begin treatment for end-stage kidney failure. About 200,000 people with diabetes are living off of dialysis or kidney transplants.
Diabetes is the leading cause of blindness among adults, ranging from 20 to 74 years old. 85% of people with type 2 diabetes are overweight. Diabetes kills more Americans each year than AIDS and breast cancer combined.
The symptoms of type 2 diabetes are urinating often, feeling very thirsty, feeling hungry, extreme fatigue, blurry vision, and wounds are slow to heal. Homeostasis. The tendency of an organism or cell to regulate its internal conditions due to an outside stimulus, usually by system feedback loops such as positive or negative, as to stabilize health and normal body function.
Homeostasis is made up of the receptor, control, effector, and the positive or negative feedback loop.
The receptor is what senses imbalances in the body system.
The control takes a signal from the receptor, which then sends a signal to the effector to take action on the outside stimulus.
The effector is what receives the signal from the control and takes action to fix the imbalance in the body caused by the outside stimulus.
Negative feedback is the attempt of the system to go back to normal level values, while positive feedback is an attempt to fix the problem despite of normalcy in the body, going as far away as normal level values to fix the problem.
Alright. Okay. This is Paulita Sebial, my auntie, and we're going to ask her about her type 2 diabetes. So how has type 2 diabetes affected your daily life and habits?
It doesn't affected me on my daily time habits because I've been diagnosed of type 2 diabetes for long time, and then I manage it very well. That's why all my blood sugar is under control, so it really doesn't affect me on my daily time habits.
Alright, so what types of medicines do you take for your diabetes?
So before I was taking 2 kinds of medication, the glimepiride and the metformin, but 6 months ago the doctor changed my glimepiride to insulin, which is called Lantus, but I'm still taking the metformin since the doctor will not which the doctor want me to continue taking the metformin.
So now we're going to get started with this interview. First question I have for you is, how has type 2 diabetes affected your daily life and habits?
Daily life. I have to remember to take medicine every day, and then I have to be conscious of how much food I eat at a given time, and what is the content of those foods? Not too many carbs at one time. That's the number one thing I worry about as far as my food goes. You said life and daily habits?
Yeah.
Exercise is a really big deal. I don't have to exercise hard, I don't exercise really long, but I need to get in 20 minutes of exercise because on a day I don't exercise, my blood in snacks, 14 carbs per snack. And then with meals, I really try hard not to overeat. If I start feeling full, I'm done whether I finish the food or not.
How long have you had type 2 diabetes?
15 years.
What steps have you taken to improve your life with diabetes?
I was exercising frequently before I got hit by a truck, and I had pretty good management of it at that time. We were actually, my weight was lower, and my blood sugars were pretty consistent. My A1Cs were down into the 8 range, 7 range is good. But then I get hit by a truck, and exercise has become very difficult since. So the things that I was doing to be successful, a very busy lifestyle. I was carrying over 50 credits a term in grad school because I was attending 2 different grad schools at the same time. So I would get up, go to class at 8 a.m., get out of class at 9 p.m., and I would eat as I traveled from one school to another, stopping at a fast food place. Usually I stopped at Burger King and I got a Waffle pretty much 4 days a week, because that was a straight line between schools. And that was typically the only meal I ate during the day, and then I would eat again after I got out of school. And so my diet was terrible, and I felt sick. But I maintained that for about a year. And at the end of it, I knew things were not right with my body, and I went to my doctor and had a blood test and found out that I did indeed have diabetes. But you need to eat right. You need to have a lifestyle where you're sleeping and out there doing stuff, and not just sitting in class all day. Every day when every time I go to the theater, I want popcorn, and I'm always happy when I leave and I don't have it. But I'm not going to say that every time I go to the theater. But that's a battle that I continue to fight.
That's a very honest answer.
So now we will tell you how homeostasis and blood glucose level differs from a normal person to someone with type 2 diabetes. First, we will talk about homeostasis in a normal person.
The receptor is the pancreas, which senses low level of sugars in blood.
The control is the pancreas, which produces glucagon.
The effector in this case is the liver, which glucagon stimulates to produce glucose from glycogen. The liver produces glucose.
In the negative feedback loop, when sugar levels in blood become too high, the pancreas produces insulin. The insulin stimulates cells to absorb glucose. The cycle starts over again when glucose levels become too low.
We will now talk about homeostasis in type 2 diabetes.
The receptor is the pancreas senses low levels of sugar in blood.
The control is the pancreas, which produces glucagon and sends the glucagon to the liver.
The effector in type 2 diabetes. The glucagon stimulates the liver to produce glucose. The liver produces glucose.
Negative feedback in type 2 diabetes. When sugar levels in blood becomes too high, the pancreas can no longer produce insulin. Then the cells at this point become resistant to insulin, but eventually cannot produce any more. Glucose cannot be absorbed into the cells, so the body starts burning fat cells for energy, leading to too much glucose in the blood.
Type 2 diabetes is a metabolic disorder that has high levels of glucose in the blood, meaning sugar levels in the body become unbalanced. It is a chronic condition which resists the effects of insulin or does not produce enough insulin to maintain a normal glucose level.